There is a profound truth embedded in the ancient wisdom that speaks to the heart of every seeker, every dreamer, every soul who stands at the threshold of transformation. It whispers that we need not see the entire staircase before taking the first step. It reminds us that the path reveals itself to those who dare to move forward, even when the destination remains shrouded in mystery. Before we begin, if you enjoy this video, give me a like, comment below about your thought and hit subscribe button so you don't miss any video inspired by Yogananda's teaching. Thank you very much. How often do we find ourselves paralyzed at the edge of possibility, waiting for certainty before we begin? We stand there, peering into the fog of the unknown, demanding that life show us guarantees before we commit our energy, our faith, our very being to the journey ahead. Yet this is not how the universe operates. This is not how transformation unfolds. The divine intelligence that orchestrates the dance of galaxies and the blooming of flowers does not work according to our need for complete information and absolute security. The way appears as we walk it. This is not merely poetic language or mystical abstraction. It is a fundamental principle of how consciousness interacts with reality, how intention shapes experience, how courage creates possibility where none seemed to exist before. When we take that first step into the unknown, we set into motion forces that were dormant in our hesitation. We activate potentials that could not manifest while we remained frozen in fear or doubt. Consider the seed buried in dark soil. It does not wait to see the sun before it begins to grow. It does not demand proof that breaking through the earth will lead to light and nourishment. It simply responds to an inner imperative, an intelligence beyond rational calculation, and begins its journey upward. In that movement, in that commitment to growth, the way opens. The soil yields. The obstacles that seemed insurmountable become passages. And eventually, the seedling breaks through into the light it could not see but somehow knew was there. This is the nature of faith, not as blind belief, but as active trust in the unfolding process of life itself. It is the recognition that we are not separate from the creative force that moves through all things, but expressions of it. When we align ourselves with this force through action, through commitment, through the willingness to move forward despite uncertainty, we become co-creators of our path rather than passive observers waiting for permission to live. The great spiritual teachers throughout history have understood this principle intimately. They have taught that the universe responds to our movement, our intention, our willingness to engage with life fully. When we take a step toward our highest aspirations, toward the realization of our deepest purpose, we send a signal into the field of infinite possibility. That signal is answered. Doors open that we did not know existed. People appear who carry exactly the wisdom or assistance we need. Circumstances align in ways that seem miraculous but are actually the natural result of our alignment with the flow of life. This does not mean the path will be easy or that obstacles will not appear. The way that reveals itself is not always smooth or straight. It may wind through valleys of challenge and climb mountains of difficulty. There may be moments when we question whether we should have begun at all, when the comfort of our former certainty seems preferable to the discomfort of growth. But these challenges are not signs that we have chosen wrongly. They are part of the path itself, opportunities for strengthening, for deepening, for discovering resources within ourselves we did not know we possessed. Every master of any craft or discipline knows this truth experientially. The musician does not wait until they can play perfectly before touching the instrument. They begin with simple notes, awkward fingerings, sounds that barely resemble music. But in that beginning, in that willingness to be a novice, the path of mastery reveals itself. Each practice session opens new understanding. Each mistake becomes a teacher. Each small improvement builds upon the last until, almost imperceptibly, competence emerges, then skill, then artistry. The same principle applies to every aspect of human endeavor and spiritual development. The writer must write badly before writing well. The entrepreneur must risk failure to discover success. The seeker must enter the darkness of not knowing to find the light of wisdom. There is no other way. The path cannot appear until we begin to walk it, because we are not discovering a pre-existing trail so much as creating it through our movement, our choices, our commitment to continue. This understanding liberates us from the tyranny of perfectionism and the paralysis of over-planning. How much of our life energy do we waste in endless preparation, in gathering more information, in waiting for the perfect moment or the ideal circumstances? We tell ourselves we will begin when we are ready, when we know enough, when the conditions are right. But readiness comes through doing, not before it. Knowledge deepens through application, not merely through study. And the right conditions are created by our engagement, not by our waiting. There is a beautiful paradox here. We must be willing to move forward without knowing the way, yet in that very movement, the way becomes known. We must surrender our demand for certainty, yet in that surrender, we find a deeper certainty, one based not on external guarantees but on inner trust. We must accept that we cannot see the destination, yet in accepting this, we discover that each step is itself the destination, each moment of the journey is complete in itself. This is why the present moment is so crucial to spiritual awakening and practical achievement alike. When we are fully present to the step we are taking now, we are not scattered between regret for the past and anxiety about the future. We bring all our energy, all our awareness, all our creative power to this moment, this choice, this action. And in that concentrated presence, we tap into a source of wisdom and guidance that transcends our limited rational mind. The rational mind wants maps and guarantees. It wants to calculate outcomes and minimize risks. These functions have their place, certainly, but they cannot lead us into new territory. They can only navigate the known world, the charted waters, the well-worn paths. For genuine transformation, for authentic discovery, for the realization of potentials that have never before been manifested, we must be willing to venture beyond what the rational mind can comprehend or control. This is where intuition becomes our guide. Intuition is not irrational, it is transrational. It operates from a deeper level of knowing, one that perceives patterns and possibilities invisible to surface consciousness. When we quiet the anxious chatter of the planning mind and listen to the still, small voice within, we receive guidance that is perfectly suited to our unique path. This guidance does not usually come as a complete roadmap. It comes as a next step, a direction, a sense of rightness about a particular choice or action. Following this inner guidance requires courage. It requires us to trust something we cannot prove or explain to others who demand logical justification for our choices. It requires us to be willing to appear foolish, to risk failure, to stand alone if necessary in our commitment to our path. But this courage is not recklessness. It is the highest form of intelligence, the wisdom that recognizes we are part of a larger intelligence that knows the way even when we do not. As we walk this path that appears beneath our feet, we discover something remarkable. We discover that we are not alone. The universe is conspiring in our favor, not because we are special or chosen, but because this is the nature of the universe when we align ourselves with its creative flow. Synchronicities multiply. Resources appear. Teachers emerge. Obstacles that seemed insurmountable dissolve or transform into opportunities. This is not magical thinking or wishful fantasy. It is the recognition that we live in a responsive universe, one in which consciousness and matter are not separate but intimately interconnected. Our thoughts, intentions, and actions send ripples through the field of reality, and that field responds. When our movement is aligned with our deepest truth, with our authentic purpose, with the highest good we can conceive, the response is powerful and unmistakable. Yet we must also understand that the way that appears may not be the way we expected or imagined. Our limited perspective cannot encompass all the possibilities available to us. We may set out toward one destination and find ourselves somewhere entirely different, somewhere better than we could have planned or predicted. This requires flexibility, openness, and the humility to recognize that our initial vision may have been too small, too constrained by our past experience and conditioning. The path that reveals itself as we walk it is teaching us constantly. Every encounter, every challenge, every unexpected turn is an opportunity for learning and growth. When we approach our journey with this attitude of openness and curiosity, even difficulties become valuable. We begin to see that there are no wrong turns, only different routes to our evolution. We begin to trust the process even when we cannot understand it. This trust deepens with practice. Each time we take a step into uncertainty and find that the way appears, our confidence grows. Not confidence in our ability to control outcomes, but confidence in the fundamental benevolence and intelligence of life itself. We learn through direct experience that we are supported, guided, and held by something greater than our individual self. This knowing becomes unshakable, not because someone told us it was true, but because we have verified it in the laboratory of our own life. And so we continue walking. Not because we have arrived at certainty, but because we have discovered something more valuable than certainty. We have discovered the joy of the journey itself. We have learned that being fully alive means being willing to move, to grow, to change, to venture into the unknown. We have realized that the security we once sought in knowing the entire path was actually a form of death, a closing off of possibility, a refusal of life's invitation to participate in the grand adventure of becoming. As you start to walk on the way appears. This is not a promise that everything will be easy or that you will never face difficulty. It is a promise that you will never face anything alone, that you will always have exactly what you need for the step you are taking now, and that your willingness to move forward is itself the key that unlocks doors you cannot yet see. Trust this. Live this. And watch as your life transforms from a problem to be solved into a mystery to be lived, from a burden to be endured into a gift to be celebrated. The way is appearing now, beneath your feet, in this very moment. All that is required is your next step.